All right, well, we're going to be talking about the Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare.
On my list of films to see when it came out and just never got around to it. And I don't know, where did you see it? What was it on?
Oh, goodness, I have no idea. Where did I see it? It was a streaming service. Where to watch?
I don't know if it's on. I haven't seen it on anything that I have. So
Let's see. Prime's the Roku channel.
oh,
Yeah. With Roku at the base of the operating system, you can just search and
it was
it'll
free.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. Well, you had to watch commercials.
Oh yeah, I don't care about
Yeah.
that. I've conceded that at this point. That
Yeah. But yeah, you could search and it'll be like, here are the 9 ways you can watch it, and it'll go through, and you don't have to go into each one of them. It'll tell you it costs this much or it's free.
okay.
So I get to a lot of things that way, just searching at the base level of Roku. I'll definitely keep my Roku device. It's not a Roku TV. That Roku has their own TVs. We just have a little box.
Yeah,
It's easy to upgrade.
gotcha. Excuse me.
But this is actually based on true events, and it's based on a book called Churchill's Secret Warriors: The Explosive True Story of Special Forces Desperados of World War II. I'm glad they changed the title. So there were files that had started being declassified in the 90s. That was all about the black ops of World War II, and this really kind of started what we know today as black ops warfare.
Yeah.
Very much a Suicide Squad kind of thing, because like Henry Cavill's character, I'm gonna have to bring up the cast list on this because I'm not gonna remember. I don't remember all these names. He played Gus,
Mm-hmm.
and Churchill was like, hey, well, and Churchill was played by
Rory Kinnear.
Yeah, Rory Kinnear. He was like, hey, I need you to do this job for me. He was like, well, I've got some guys in mind, but you're not gonna like them. And he was like, hey, whatever, I don't care.
Yeah.
And so he gets together his little ragtag group of friends, and it's very much like I said, a Suicide Squad type situation where they're the
Kind of like a real life Expendables.
very
Yeah.
much a real life Expendables.
Yeah.
It's the basic premise is there was a in northern Africa, there was a port that the Nazis were like taking control over.
Yeah.
And they wanted to go in and they wanted to disrupt those operations, and that was pretty much it. They were operating kind of to the side of legality. Like if all of this were to happen today and people knew about it, people would be very upset.
Yeah.
But this happened in World War II, and we won, and everything's fine. So, whatever. But it definitely with Henry Cavill, he's an interesting actor for me because I like Henry Cavill as an individual. He's like, to me, he's like the polar, the other side of the coin of like Mark Ruffalo. Like I don't Mark Ruffalo doesn't seem to be the most charitable guy in the world.
Yeah.
But I like his acting. He's okay. But like Henry Cavill, like everything I hear about him as a person, I'm like, he seems like a really genuinely nice guy. His acting does leave a little bit to be desired.
Yeah.
He is very much one of these, like he does try to play different characters, but all of his characters kind of come across the same.
I think I heard somebody I can't remember how it was they were framing the discussion, but it was kind of to that vein of talking about these people that come out on social media and all this stuff and kind of give you a reason to look at them a second time and whether or not you actually like them. And I think he was bringing up like Gal Gadot, that people really had a pretty fond view of Wonder Woman after that came out.
Yeah.
But then when she got more political and stuff, that people have gone back and looked at it again. It's like, well, she's really not very good, is she? And it's like one of those things.
Well, yeah.
It's kind of like one of those things with some of the actors I talked about, like with Ron Perlman. We were talking about that earlier. It's like if you would just be your character, and not do anything else, then most people would be fine with it, and probably not notice that you're really not that good at acting. Right. And
I did find it interesting that he was the character who's playing Gus is like he's a confidant. He's a comrade or the teammate
Yeah.
of Ian Fleming, which is the guy who wrote James Bond.
Yeah, yeah.
And James Bond isn't really based off of one particular guy. He's like an amalgam of a bunch of other guys.
Yeah.
But I find it interesting that Henry Cavill's in this, and he's also in that. Oh goodness, what's it called? There's it's like a James Bond esque film, and there's just all these tangential James Bond roles that he's been playing, but he's not going to play James Bond.
Yeah, yeah. Even though he would probably be the best of what's left
It,
out
like,
there to probably be James Bond.
At least on paper, you would think he'd make the perfect James Bond.
Yeah, there was like Argyle, a Man and from Uncle.
That's it. The Man from Uncle is what I was thinking of.
Yeah,
that's just a James Bond film.
That probably kind of proves your point when you go back and pull up the movies. That it's like, well, he's been in a lot of movies, and I can't really remember which one's which because they're all kind of
similar characters.
Maybe not the same on like a Jason Statham level, but
no,
but kind of.
He does try. I mean, he really puts his heart and soul into a lot of his works. Like he played in The Witcher, and like he did do the Witcher, the Geralt voice, and he tried to transform himself into that character.
Yeah.
He's not doing that anymore because apparently he was a bear to work with because he was such a stickler for the novels. They'd be like, "This is what happens." He was like, "That's not what happens in the novels."
Yeah.
And the writers kind of got sick of that, so they got rid of him.
Should have just let him turn it over to him and let him hire a writer.
Well, apparently he is doing a Warhammer 40K series, and he has like this rule where if you're wrong about the lore more than twice, you get kicked out of the writers' room or something like that. Like he is ruling with an iron fist.
I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
The best productions out there are the ones that are controlled by one person, and you get all these little by committee things, and they just turn into nonsense.
But the other characters that are in this, you have Alan Ritchson, who is plays Reacher in the Reacher series, the huge dude.
Yeah.
It was fun to see those two in a film together because both beefy dudes. The other people I kind of was like, hey, I kind of know these people, and it's definitely one of those films where as you're watching it, you're recognizing individuals, but it's not like your Tom Cruise or like your Henry Cavill, where I know exactly who that person is. Babs Alusan Makan, I knew I was going to mess it up. He's the guy who played in Dune Part 1. He played Jamis.
Yeah.
The guy that Paul kills. Yeah. That's where I had to look that up because as I was watching, I was like, I know that guy. Where do I know him from?
I was looking at him on the cast thing. I was wondering if he was if he's the guy that came in at the last John Wick movie, but it's not.
Different guy.
A different guy. And
then there's the other person. I'm kind of just I don't know who the other guy is on the Henry Golding.
Yeah,
I didn't recognize him at all. I don't know what he's from, but the female lead, Isa Gonzalez, the where I recognized her from was Ash. And this was something that we talked about like a year ago. That the sci-fi film.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. She was in that. So
yeah, I finally tracked that down. That's the one you saw in the theater. The one with oh Lord. Breaking Bad, Jesse.
Yeah.
Aaron. I can't remember what his name is.
Paulson. Right?
No.
Aaron Paulson?
No.
That's not it?
I don't think it's right.
Let's see.
That doesn't sound right.
Who played Jesse?
I'm just trying to find Ash. There it is.
Aaron Paul.
Aaron Paul.
Yeah, not right. Paulson. Aaron Paul. There you go.
His name was Robert Paulson.
Right. His name was right. That's probably what was in my mind.
Yeah. I knew I recognized her as well. I think that might be one of the only things I've seen her in.
And this is a Guy Ritchie film.
Yeah.
So it's definitely one of those, kind of like if you say, hey, you like a Steven Spielberg film. Okay, if you like Guy Ritchie films, you'll probably like this.
Yeah.
This is a put your phone down film, because if you're not paying attention, you'll get lost real quick. Because it moves at quite a clip. It looks like the production budget was about $60 million. They made about $30 million, so it's not real great.
Yeah.
So
it's we talk about that. We pull up a lot of numbers and things that on the movies that we talk about. It's just budgets have just gotten stupid on some of these things. It's almost to where there's no way to make money.
No.
And I saw a thing this morning that was going through the top paid actors. think Zoe Saldana was like
Hmm.
number
Yeah,
one,
she's number one now.
and then like everybody that followed her, with the exception of like maybe like two people, were all just the other people in the Marvel stuff. And you're getting to a point, it's like where that I know those movies made just more money than they knew what to do with over those first couple ones, and then that makes those actors be able to command and say, "This is what I'm worth now."
Hmm.
And then it's like, well, okay, if we want to get her, we got to pay her that for this, or at least close to that for this movie, and that probably just sinks your budget half the time just to draw one of these people in. It's like, how about like tying it to commission or something? You
Well,
get
they used to do like points on the back end kind of thing.
that's how I would do it. It'd be like, here's your signing bonus. You get a 30% of whatever the take is on the movie. So I hope it does well.
I recently saw a interview clip where they were talking to Alec Guinness regarding Star Wars,
Yeah,
and like he thought it was kind of silly and all that because he was like a classical actor, right?
yeah,
And he was talking about what he was promising he was getting paid, and when the movie first came out and people started like reviewing it and it seemed like it was going to make a good amount of money and be do all right, George Lucas called him and was like, hey, have you seen what people are saying about it? It seems like it's good. We would like to offer you another 0.5%. And then a little more people started seeing it, started getting a little more popular. And Alex said he called George Lucas. He's like, hey, can we get that little bit of extra money that you were talking about? Can we get that in writing? And he said George was like, oh, that 0.25%. Yes, definitely. It's like, yeah.
uh, what I saw them talking about with her this morning is like the conversation is like, was there anything that she's in that she made big money in where she actually wasn't either blue or green?
Uh,
It's like, not really. She was in Star Trek, the Star Trek remakes. She was,
yeah, yeah, Uhura,
and then
right?
outside of that, it was kind of in that order: the Marvel stuff, the Avatar, and the Star Treks, where she made all that money.
Well, it looks like the one movie I could think of that was like her film was Colombiana. That was in 2011,
Yeah,
and it was 40 million budget, made 71 worldwide. So that was successful. But
the,
you're
the
right.
one
It's not like she's not like a Tom Cruise where she has this filmography where she's
the only
just the
movies that I can actually think back to, like, wow, she was kind of good in that. Um, the Live by Night, the gangster movie she did with Ben Affleck.
okay. I
She was good
didn't
in
see that.
that. And then the thing she did with Christian Bale, the Out of the Furnace. It's a kind of a low budget sort of indie film.
She was.
She was great in that.
You said green or blue. Yeah, Avatar. That's why she's
Yeah,
yeah.
that's where all that
She's
money.
in Marvel and Avatar. There you
Marvel and
go.
Avatar. That's why she's.
Okay. Well, good on her.
Yeah,
Good on her. But hopefully, I was I think this movie did the Ministry of Ungenderly Warfare. I think it did what it needed to do. I don't feel like it was lacking in any way. I
yeah,
think the actors did well. It's just I don't know if it's that's not what we're looking for right now in films, or if it was just a casualty of the dying theater system, or what.
yeah. I don't know. I don't. I mean, I think without going back and looking, it seems like all the expendable stuff was fairly popular and made money, or they wouldn't have
Yeah.
kept on making.
This is more a war movie than it is an action film.
Yes,
It has some explosions, has some actions, but it's more methodical and deliberate in the plot.
yeah. I don't remember how it was marketed, but I mean, that seems that's the way that you would draw somebody to this. It'd be like, this is real life Expendables, but
Yeah.
I don't really remember how. I remember seeing ads for it and stuff. I've almost kind of grown numb to advertising at this point. Where
If I recall correctly, I didn't go back and watch the trailers or anything, but I remember it being kind of billed almost like a comedy because there are
yeah,
one-liners and some punchy kind of
yeah,
dialogue, but it's not a comedy.
um, I'm exhausted with that kind of stuff. Just these are guys that were in World War II. I'm sure they were probably plenty sarcastic and probably said some very funny things that
Yeah.
probably would not be allowed in film at this point. But that constant just Marvel sarcasm stuff is I can't do those movies anymore. They're just so it's just fatiguing. It's like I like a good joke, and it's just a joke after a joke after a joke after a joke. It's like, oh,
Well, I definitely
is
wouldn't
this?
put this movie in that category.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Doing that to a World War II movie it'd be an instant way to destroy it.
Yeah.
You go back there. You're talking about Rickson and Cavill and stuff too. You go back and watch the guys that were like these heroes and the guys that were like really daring and kind of badasses in World War II. And you see them and you're like, they were like little 5'10", 170-pound dudes from like Brooklyn and stuff that were just
That is one of the things I did while we were watching. So I was looking at the people who were the actual people, and I did think that I was like, wow, these are just like normal looking dudes.
Yeah, they're just fearless guys that were just like, no, it's like
Yeah.
you're trying to take over Europe and you just bombed like our base in Japan. Nah, it's like we're not doing that.
You look at some of the guys who were the bravest in those World War I and II, and it's like this guy looks like he'd be your local cobbler. You know, he'd fix your shoes. You know, but no, he was this badass and killed a battalion of guys just by himself. Yeah. This I enjoyed it.
I'm gonna track it down and watch it at some point. It wasn't in that. Definitely was not in that category of I'm going to spend most of the free money I have this month to go see a movie in the theaters. So
when it came out in the theaters, I do remember saying, "Hey, I would like to see this in the theater," just as like supporting it.
Generally, movies like this are better in theaters.
Yeah, I call them bombastic films. Yeah.
Explosions and gunfire are always better on a big screen.
Of course, yeah. But life gets in the way, as you're saying. So
yeah.
All right, then the next film we're going to be talking about is your next one, which is going to be Mercy.
Mercy plus a little bit.
Plus a little bit. Right?
We'll be back with that. I'll explain that in a minute.